Hello and welcome to the Channel 4 Accelerator and another episode and another series of How to Beat Deity. I'm your host Strateghost, and today I'm going to be showing you how to play Matthias Corvinus, leading Hungary. And I'm actually going to be going for a diplomatic victory, even though he is perhaps best suited for a domination victory, having lots of strong military advantages. So I've already set it to Matthias, Deity, Standard. Today I'm going to do a Seven Seas map, which is a bit like Pangaea, but with some more water in between. I just wanted to showcase the sort of land aspects and the ability to get to any particular area of land. But I wanted a little bit more interaction with seas, just because Hungary is in this Eastern European region where there are some seas around, and so I wanted to get that aspect. And I'm going to be playing on a large map with my standard disaster intensity 3. If we go into the advanced setup, you can see that I've already set a few rivals here. One is Frederick Barbarossa of Germany, one is Jadwiga of Poland, and the other is Suleiman leading the Ottomans. I chose all of these first thematically because they're neighbors of Hungary, and Matthias fought wars against all of them. But they also have the benefit mechanically of competing with us in a few different ways. So with the diplomatic victory and Matthias's bonuses in general, we're going to be wanting to pursue suzerainty of city-states, and Frederick has a bonus that lets him attack city-states with a higher combat value. So, and his agenda is that he doesn't like people allying with city-states. So we'll get some competition from him. Jadwiga is a religious and military civ, and we will be, as long as the terrain allows it, we'll be trying to go for a religion. I'll explain that in a bit. And we'll be trying to do some military action, even though we're not trying to dominate the world. And similarly, Suleiman is an offensive domination-oriented civ. So we want to have some of these military rivals that might take out city-states and might compete with religion. But we want to hopefully use our military for a diplomatic win. All of the settings are the same. This time I'm going to try to use a standard start position, not a balanced one, just because it makes the game a little bit more interesting to not have the balance there, which mainly just focuses on giving every player horse resources and iron resources. Now, the main downside is that Matthias is a little bit horse dependent, but I find that horses are usually relatively common even on the standard start position, so we'll give it a try. So while it's loading, I'll tell you a little bit about the diplomatic victory. It's not a very popular victory type. A lot of people find it very weak. A lot of people find it somewhat slow, and that's all true. But hopefully with Matthias, we'll be able to make it interesting. So the main way to get diplomatic points is through the World Congress. You get diplomatic points whenever you successfully vote for an agenda that passes, including the player or the type of building or whatever that passes. So you have to get it exactly right to get one diplomatic point. This means that you for every World Congress you can get 2 points just by correctly predicting the vote. Notice that sometimes you might just want to dominate the vote and vote your way. Other times you might want to choose whatever is going to win regardless of you and just try to get a victory point out of it. Later on in the World Congress, I forget which era, but it'll come up when it comes up. You also have the option of voting to give yourself directly 2 victory points, as well as taking 3 away from any contender. That's kind of hard to do because once you, or it's easy enough early on, but towards the end, once you get a high amount of diplomatic victory points, the AIs are usually going to gang up on you to try to take them all away. The best thing there is to try to predict the other 2 agendas and try to make up some diplomatic points along the way, because the first 2 diplomatic points assigned will be rewarded before the 3 are taken away. So if you're sitting at 18, even if all the AIs vote to take away 3 of your victory points, you can win by correctly predicting the other 2 agendas or just dominating them with your diplomatic favor. There are other sources of diplomatic victory points. We already discovered foreign trade. That's quite common with Matthias, as I'll explain in a bit. But the other sources of diplomatic victory points are the Potala Palace, all the way in astronomy, which gives 1 diplomatic victory point in addition to a diplomatic policy slot. So that's a good wonder we'll want to go for. We also have the Mahabodhi Temple at Theology, which gives 2 diplomatic victory points and requires having a religion and being next to woods, having a shrine next to woods. And finally, the Statue of Liberty, which awards 4 diplomatic victory points and requires being by water. So we already started next to water, so that's a good thing. It has to be built next to a harbor on coast. So the plan is to build all of these wonders, which will require a religion. And we can build a religion here, or we can build a shrine here and go for a religion. So that's probably what we're going to want to do. But before we settle, let's take a look at Matthias's leader abilities. So his first leader ability is Raven King. Levied units from city-states gain an ability giving them +2 movement and +5 combat strength. That costs 75% less gold and resources to upgrade levied units. If you levy troops from a city-state, receive 2 envoys with that city-state, gain the Black Army unique unit when the castle's technology is researched. So his Raven King leader ability is oriented around city-states. It's interesting in that it's the only way of converting gold into envoys. He has this unique ability to levy troops using gold as long as he's already the suzerain of them, and gaining 2 envoys out of that, which is a strategy we're going to try to make great use of in this game. As well as getting free or very cheap military units around the world. All he has to do is become suzerain, then he can get some military units, and he can also upgrade them quite cheaply. The Hungarian civ ability is Pearl of the Danube, 50% production to districts and buildings constructed across a river from a city center. So we're going to be pushed to settle next to rivers, and to try to maximize this, we want to get lots of tiles next to rivers across from the city. So this makes city placement kind of fun. It's enjoyable. It can also be quite powerful. Note that one of the great benefits is that you usually want to place commercial hubs next to rivers anyway. And if you're going for any kind of levying of city-states or military in general, including domination, but also in our diplomatic game, Matthias is going to want a lot of gold. So there's a synergy here of building commercial hubs quickly across from your city, across the river, and getting extra gold from it. Matthias's leader unique unit is the Black Army, a Hungarian medieval unit that replaces the Courser. It gets +3 combat strength for each adjacent levied unit. So there's some synergy there. It can get quite powerful if you have a lot of levied units around. And that actually upgrades into the Hussar, which is a unique industrial era unit that replaces cavalry. So 2 light cavalry unique units, and that gets +3 combat strength for every active alliance. These are both, they give us some synergy for the diplomatic win, because you get diplomatic favor by being the suzerain of city-states and by having alliances. So we're going to be incentivized to get lots of those, lots of both. So we want to be the lord of all the city-states we can, and we want to have alliances. So this will be good for trying to be friendly with people in general, having a Black Army of friendship, and not using it to conquer a lot of lands, but more as a sort of world police force, and liberating city-states and protecting them, and so on, and maybe liberating other people's cities as well. Finally, we have the Thermal Bath, which is pretty good for a domination type play, but it'll also just be helpful here. It's +2 amenities and +2 production that extends to each city center within 6 tiles. The amenities and the production helps with building military and going on the warpath. These bonuses apply once to a city. Multiple copies don't count for others. And if you have a geothermal fissure in your city's borders, the one city that builds the thermal bath gets +3 tourism and 2 additional amenities. The +3 tourism isn't terrific because we're not going for a culture victory, and he doesn't really have anything that's oriented towards that, except for maybe Pearl of the Danube if you want to build theater districts. But the +2 additional amenities is obviously good as well for going on a domination type game. It's worth noting that this replaces the zoo in the entertainment complex, and the zoo ordinarily has a science boost for rainforest tiles, which will be lacking from the thermal bath. So, in general, you might think about preserving your rainforest tiles if you're going for some sort of scientific game or a military game where you want a lot of science. But you lose that ability here. So you might as well just chop down your rainforests unless you're using them for adjacency for your campus. But we're going to try to build these whenever we can, whenever it makes sense. And it's useful that Matthias has a start bias towards geothermal fissures. This is useful for a few reasons. One, we've already mentioned, which is geothermal fissures typically form along with mountain ranges at the intersection of continents. And so his bias towards geothermal fissures means that Matthias is usually at the intersection of continents. As we can see here, we just started right here on two different continents right next to us, which gave us the boost to foreign trade as soon as we started the game. The other benefit, though, is that mountain ranges and geothermal baths are really good for campus adjacency. So even though we don't have a strong lean towards science because of our abilities, although Pearl of the Danube can help us with any direction we want to go in, Matthias's starting bias actually gives him some strength for science, and you could turn that into a complete scientific game, but the other benefit is just getting ahead militarily, which we will try to make use of. So as we decide where to settle, notice that the Pearl of the Danube ability only works for tiles that are across from a river from the city center and adjacent to the city. So if we settled right here, we would get one tile with that benefits from Pearl of the Danube. This tile wouldn't count. Even though it's across the river, it's not adjacent to the city center. So I think what we want to do is we want to actually move to this tile, and then we'd get two tiles that benefit from adjacency to the city center, giving us Pearl of the Danube across the river. The other reason I want to go here is I would like to place my holy site here to go for a religion. And then I will be able to build the Mahabodhi temple there. And that'll just be quicker if I settle over here. So that's what I'm going to do. I think I will explore just in this direction first, okay, just to see how it goes. The other option is I could get a lot more faith by putting my holy site there, which might be a good plan as well. I could put my holy site there. That would get +3 from all these mountains and +1 from the woods. So the question is whether I want to get more faith or whether I want a quicker holy site. That's a choice to make. I could also just build the holy site here for now, settle for the +1 faith, but build it more quickly, and then get more science from all these mountains, foregoing the extra benefit of the woods. And I think that's what I'm going to do, just because I like the idea of getting out the holy site more quickly, because it gives us an advantage to founding a religion on deity, which can be a problem sometimes, and I'd like to do that. So I'm going to move there. Also notice that no matter where we settled along this river, we'd get Plains Hills, which are great tiles to settle on, especially at the start of the game, because for any tile except Plains Hills, your city will default to getting 2 food and 1 production. And if you're settling on a luxury, you can get the bonus gold or culture or science or faith or whatever that comes along with the luxury resource. But if you settle on Plains Hills, because they all automatically have 2 production, your city will start with 2 food and 2 production. And that's pretty good at the start, just in terms of getting out your initial builds out quicker. So that's all the explanation I'll give right away. And now that is the second turn, I will settle and we can start the game properly. So since I'm going to go for a religion to get the Mahabodhi temple and for some other diplomatic benefits that we'll see over time, I'm going to go for astrology right away. And the first thing I want to build, first I want to set to see what I'm working. I guess this is the best tile to work right away. We don't have a lot of food, but we will have some high production. I definitely want to start with a scout, and or maybe a couple scouts. And the reason for that is I would love to find a natural wonder very quickly in order to boost astrology and get our shrines faster. I would also like to be the first one to find a city-state, because that will give us an envoy straight away and help us get suzerainty much faster. So that's why I'm starting with scouts. Meanwhile, I'm just going to be exploring with my warrior for the time being. You can check the settler lens to look for unavailable tiles. And here's a lake tile, which is showing up red, which suggests to me that there is a city nearby, likely to be a city-state. Notice here's also a geothermal bath, which we'd love to settle by for some science, maybe put a campus here or here, and as well as, sorry, a geothermal bath, yeah, and use the thermal bath unique later, geothermal fissure, sorry, and use the thermal bath later to get some extra amenities. Okay, mountains that way, so I'm going to try to send the warrior up through there. Our scout's almost done. And I think I will just send this first scout up in that direction. I'll build another scout and send it down into the tundra. That's usually where you'll find a lot of various goody huts, as well as barbarians. And the barbarians will help us get some boosts. And some combat experience. Okay. So, okay, so those were just red because they were lake tiles, not because there was a city-state nearby. So apparently they put red on the lakes, but not on the sea. We'll keep exploring. Okay, it doesn't look like there are city-states because we just found some more coast. So we'll try to go that way just for now, send our warrior back around, or maybe out. There's not going to be a city-state there, so maybe just keep them going out and then scout back around later. Just to see what's in that direction. Let's see what's in that direction. Still no cities in that direction. It's nice to get on hills just to get more vision around these things. Wow, this would be a fantastic Petra city. We have lots of desert hills as well as silver mines. Oh my gosh, that's so much silver. We could get a huge boost out of the Pantheon for mines on luxury resources. We'd get a ton of faith that way. Alright, and I want to send this scout down to explore the tundra. I'd like to get a slinger out before we get a second pop and try to get our first settler out. Okay, still lakes and mountains, still no sign of city-states, but we'll keep exploring. That would be a great campus spot or holy site spot. If we settled here, for example, we could build it quickly across the river, or we could settle there and build quickly there, but that seems to be the better one. If we settled there, we could also build another quick district right there. And the Pearl of the Danube ability is great for getting the districts down fast. It's also great for getting the buildings in the district out fast. So that'll be something to keep in mind as well. Okay, we found one barbarian. We might want to circle the warrior back around this way to take care of that barbarian before it starts sending stuff out for us. We'll keep exploring down this way. Since we can't fight this spearman with the scout, we're just going to move the scout back the way it came. Why don't we explore down the coast first and then try to go back out? I like to be pretty thorough with the tundra because you can find a lot of goody huts in the little hidden areas or barb camps, and you want to know about those. So we are going to try to put down a campus as quickly as possible, so I will skip God King in lieu of extra production. It'll take us a while to get our warrior over to the barbarian. We haven't found very many, so for now, I'll just put double experience for recon units. In case we find goody huts, natural wonders, we'll get more experience on our scouts. That can be useful if you can get to the 3rd promotion, which we can't take a look at right now. There's a goody hut. But the 3rd promotion level gives them plus 20 combat strength, which is pretty strong and can be pretty fun to play with. So let's see what's up there. That's more coast, okay. And why don't we start sending this guy that way? What are we working right now? We want to get more food in the the capital. 22 turns till growth, not great. We'd love to get a builder. Right now, at least the gold is helping from these two. And we'd probably like to get sailing just to be able to improve the fish so that we actually have a food tile. Because right now, we don't really have any great sources of food. But we just got out our slinger, 4 turns till astrology. We definitely want to get our settler out as quickly as possible. And where we want to settle, I think we'll probably want to settle somewhere in this desert region, somewhere like maybe here, where we can then put a Petra over here and get 1, 2, 3, get a lot of good desert tiles for our Petra. Alternatively, let's see, if we're here, we can get 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The only way to get like all of these desert tiles would just be to settle right in the middle. We could get full housing from this oasis. We'd kill one hill, we could build a Petra there or there. We'd be close enough to some forests that we could chop out the Petra, which would be useful. So maybe that's what we want to do. One thing is I know we want to settle here, and we probably want to put a campus here. We could put in a holy site if we need the faith. I'm not planning on getting a ton of faith, but I would like the benefits of a religion right away. I think science will be more important to us in the long run. For a Petra, let's see, if we're here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, we'll get like all of these resources. We'll miss out on like 1 tile there, 1, 2, 3, 1 tile there, but we'll get most of these tiles around here. So I think we'll just settle right there and try to get that started with it won't have great food right away, but the sooner we put it down, the stronger it'll be by the time we actually get to Petra. What do we want here? I think we will just start with foreign trade. That's kind of my my usual go-to, unless I see a reason to start with what's it called? Craftsmanship. We'll get a trade route quicker this way, which will be helpful. Goody hut. Goody hut. Okay, there is a barbarian down here. We might want to send the slinger down here to take care of that scout. Let the warrior take care of this outpost. And the Great Bath has been built. We got an extra population. That's very useful. We'll get the settler out faster. I will let the scout take this goody hut for the extra experience. We'll get experience on the warrior just from combat.
I don't believe in astrology.
Okay, now that we just researched that, we will put this holy site down. We'll get a production discount. It's annoying to pass up on that +4, but we'll put a campus there later. That'll be good, and that'll make up for it. For now, we'll just build this quickly. But we do want to get our settler out first, and then get the holy site. I would like sailing just to get that food tile. I'd also like to get animal husbandry as soon as possible, because our unique units use cavalry or use horses, and most of our game is going to be dominated by cavalry. So I'd like to get this sooner rather than later, but first I think I do want sailing and mining to improve the tiles around us. So we'll start with sailing to get the food going, and 75 gold with the scout. That's very useful. I could buy the builder right now, but we wouldn't be able to improve anything with it just yet. If I save up, I could buy a monument, which would also be quite useful. I think I want to probably buy the builder, but only when the time comes. Okay, so we saw that barbarian scout. We haven't found the outpost yet. We know that scout's somewhere around here. All right, we found the bottom of the snow, bottom of the map. We're still sending you that way, and you that way. Oh, there's that barbarian outpost. Let's just keep scouting. Found a warrior. We can use our slinger to hopefully destroy this warrior. It'll be easier once we get the card in to attack barbarians. I'll just try to get the hit off right now. We're on a hill. We have an advantage. We might be able to just take it down as is. And right now I'm just moving the scout in whatever the path of least resistance is. Let's see if there's a city around us. Still no. Still checking for cities, but still none around us. Let's just check out what's down here. There could be a goody hut down in the snow. Alright, I think we will settle our Petra city first. Like I said, mostly just to get it going. I would like one more warrior to help us out down here in the south. I could buy one, but I'd rather... Let's see. I could build a builder in 7 turns or build a warrior in 5. So I'll build a warrior in 5, and I'll still wait 3 turns. In fact, I'll just buy the builder now. So I could hit this one more time. The question is just if I would survive. And it's possible that I would survive a second hit from the warrior after reducing its strength. But I just want to be conservative and not take any chances. So I'm going to retreat with the slinger for now. And I'm going to explore around here. Okay, we got to the bottom of this mountain range and there was nothing. There might be something over here. We can see a little bit of snow there. But that's as far as I'll go for now. I think I'll bring this guy back around this way. Finally, we found a city-state. We were not the first to find them, but if we get a Pantheon, we'll trigger an inspiration for mysticism, and we'll get an envoy early. So we want to get sailing so we can move our builder out. Let's just keep exploring the way to Candy. Let's get that. And I'll move him in there. We have a lot of space to expand. We still haven't found an AI yet. Oh, there's a lot of barbs there, but they can't get us as long as we're standing here. The only thing is we want to make sure that whenever we do take this outpost with this warrior, that the warrior will be high enough health to not be killed outright by these guys. We could get an interesting canal city in here somewhere, which might be useful. 2 more turns to sailing. Alright, there's the free path to Candy. Now we could get a trade route there as long as we're close enough. We could definitely get one from our Petra City. Alright, it's attacking us, which is great. We're on a hill and forest, so we got a high defensive modifier. We're just going to heal up. Alright, the warrior is circling our city now. We can heal up the slinger a bit. Keep scouting. Oh, there's Germany, one of our rivals. He's going to go after city-states. He's not going to like it when we don't attack city-states. We would love to sample your hospitality. That gets us writing. So it's great that we found him at the start. Maybe we will keep a wary eye on him and keep him from destroying our city-state allies.
It is not that life ashore is distasteful to me.
Alright, we just killed that spearman from it suiciding onto us. That's great. It gets us a free barbarian kill. We'd like to get 3 so that we get the boost to bronze working. We'd also like to get a kill with a slinger to boost archery, and we'd like to take that outpost for the boost to military tradition. I'm going to keep healing this slinger. I'm going to send our builder over to improve the fish that we are working. I think right now, since we have 1 production on the warrior, I think I'm going to keep with gold. The next thing we build will probably be the holy site, and I might switch it over to here depending on if that changes the speed at which we build it. I'm also going to research mining to try to put a mine on that copper, which will make it as good as that with the additional gold. Yeah, so we'll do mining next, then we'll do animal husbandry so that we can find and settle next to horses. This warrior might be going after our settler. There's no way it can catch it, but the barbarians might not realize that. Alright, there's a decent amount of land in between us and Germany, so I'm not very worried.
Nation lives by exchanging.
Alright, we want to put in the barbarian bonus and keep our +1 production going. I'll just heal that up. We do want to get this holy site down. The next thing we're going to purchase is probably going to be a trader. We'll get this holy site, build that. That's great. It cuts our turns till growth down in half, which is amazing. If we move this here, it'll take 5 turns to complete, but I think getting the extra gold might be beneficial because 6 turns is not that much worse than 5. We will next go for craftsmanship, I think, just because we'll soon get mining and we'll be able to get the boost. Now I want to keep healing up this warrior. If this warrior suicides onto us, that's great for us. In general, it's a good strategy to soak hits defending with a fortified unit instead of attacking yourself. And meanwhile, if he doesn't attack us, we can heal up and be stronger and take him out much faster and more safely. Okay, so just to see, yeah, nothing really around here. See if there's any paths this way, and then I'll probably send them up back around that way. Yeah, this warrior too is just going to suicide onto us. If I attack there, the scout won't really be able to take me, but just in case, I think I'll fortify one more time. I think I'll move that one there, that one there. I want to get the kill with this slinger. Alright, we found some more mountains here. There is a little path down here. I might go like one more tile just to see how far the path goes. He does already have a lot of military strength, so we will want to try to get horseback riding and archery as soon as we can. Clear out that barbarian camp, and we found a little peninsula. It doesn't go any farther. No need for a canal city, really, but we might put one down. We do have a reef here, which makes either of these a decent campus spot, especially this spot, because we'd also get the +1 from the mountains. So just as a note, we'd get a +3 there, which would be really good. If we settled there and put a harbor there, this would be a +4 campus. So we might want to do that. And the harbor would be +2 from the capital, +1 from the whales, and then plus another one from the 2 districts. So this is a triangle you might see me use a lot. I really like this sort of a triangle. It's very useful with the harbor and the campus next to a reef. Okay, we just found the back of this little path. We could build a little Helm's Deep in there at some point if we wanted, maybe. But first, let's hit once with the warrior, once with the slinger. Boom, that's the boost to archery and the boost to bronze working. That is perfect for us. We'll build the builder there. We want to get our military units out here just to keep Germany from getting any funny ideas. We also want to clear out this barbarian outpost down here. Okay. And our settler is almost in position. Our warrior unit has a promotion. I think that's this one, which is good timing. We'll promote it up. Now the scout doesn't stand a chance. I will move you out this way, I suppose. I will move the slinger out to there. Now that we got the boost with the slinger, we don't really need it to attack barbarians. Slingers are pretty weak in themselves. Our warriors should be able to handle the spearmen on their own. So now we'll settle here. Our Petra city, Ur, I suppose it would be called. What do we want out of here? We could get a trader next turn, which is wonderful. That's probably where I want to put it down. It might also be beneficial to get a trader there, but when we finish this holy site, sending it from there, we'll get this one more food than this one would get. So I think we'll just buy the trader in here. As far as what we want to put down, there's not really a good holy site space, so we might just save this and work on something else. A builder would be quite useful. We definitely want to keep working that tile. Like I said, a builder might be useful. We might also just want a monument first thing. That's usually a good thing to start with. In this case, we could also build some military. Since we're not, maybe once we slot that card in, I'll build some military in here. I think a builder might be the way to go here, just because we already have 3 good tiles that we're going to want to improve as soon as possible. Then again, we would also like to start expanding to get these chops. So yeah, I'll get the monument first and a builder later. As soon as we get mining, I'm going to put a mine down there, and then I was gonna build a mine here, but we're not gonna work that right away. We already have 2 1-3 tiles anyway, so then I'm gonna send this builder over to this city to improve one of these silvers, just to give that city some extra production as well. And if that delays getting improved 3 tiles for the boost, I'll just switch out of craftsmanship and put it on early empire instead. So far, I like what we've done. Let's check into our religions. No one's built the Stonehenge yet. A couple of people are generating great profit points. Because it's large, I believe there are 6 religions. I'm not 100% sure about that. We'll be able to see once we actually get our Pantheon up. And what do we want for here? Oh, the boost to mysticism. Okay. And send you there. But if we knock out, we'll build a fast shrine and then knock out some city projects to get our great profit, and that should do it. We'll send you back around through the woods that way, into the woods. Barbarian, okay, good thing we have our slinger and warrior over here. So we'll send this warrior that way. One more turn till mining's done. There is a barbarian, so I think we'll heal up here. Hopefully that will come and try to suicide onto us. Meanwhile, our scout will be going that way. This scout will be going this way. State workforce.
When you find yourself in a hole,
that's from our holy site. There, we mined a resource, got a boost. We're working 2 great tiles now. We're about to get another 1-3. Oh, we don't have that 1-3 yet. I just realized. But yeah, so we want to get our shrine up. It's going to be a little bit quicker because of Pearl of the Danube. I forgot to buy our trader earlier, but we will put it in now. We'll buy that trader here. And we'll send this builder over to improve that silver. We'll move our slinger into place to protect against that scout. Hopefully we'll keep moving our warrior. We will promote this no. Oh, that was the slinger. Okay. It says warrior unit, but our slinger can be promoted, so we'll do that. Hopefully the scout comes this way instead of that way. The scout shouldn't threaten the builder as long as its outpost is still up, but we also have 10 turns left until the next age. Right now we're getting a dark age. I'm pretty sure we'll do something accidentally to get a normal age, but we'll see. Animal husbandry, we want to find horses, then we'll want to go straight for archery to help us defend against Germany. They already have a pretty significant military score, and my biggest tip for Deity is don't underestimate the enemies militarily. Like, at the start, you want to be sure to build as much military as you can to defend yourself. You don't want to fall behind in the economic and productive side of things, but it's good to get this Agoge military card and start building some archers and warriors and spearmen as soon as possible. So I will just heal you up. Hopefully the warrior suicides onto our warrior. All right, we found more mountains that way. Yeah, see, this warrior's taking quite a big hit because of our fortification on this hill. The spearman is coming after our slinger, which is not great. We will retreat the slinger that way. We'll keep trying to move the builder out. It's possible it'll get intercepted by that spearman. We also don't want to really send this out while the spearman is threatening us. We could send it away and get some extra gold, but I think I want to save it for Buddha. So I'll just put it to sleep till now and hopefully not forget about it until we can clear this camp out. There's the scout. All right, we'll go this way. Go along the coast for now. Let's see if there's anything there. Oh, the Eye of the Sahara. Does this change my mind about where I'd like to put the Petra? No, not really. I mean, it'd be cool if I had that and got the Petra. I think that would count, because I think these count as desert. It's not a fantastic natural wonder. It's just kind of cool. It's definitely cool to look at, and it's a very interesting formation. If only we'd found that earlier, we could have gotten the boost to astrology, but it was a little far out of our way. Now that the warrior suicided onto ours, I'll just move forward. I'll heal up and then move there to take out this camp. Let's just keep exploring this way while we can. We found mountains down here. We can't put anything on the Eye of the Sahara, so right now it's just something pretty to look at. If there's a river over here, we could settle near it. Looks like it's coast over here, judging by these little rock formations. We could settle on this lake and, just have something pretty to look at. But unfortunately, we can't put a holy site here, like between all these mountains and next to the Eye of the Sahara, because that would be a huge amount of faith. But we could at least, get some science from these tiles much, much later on. We want to keep retreating this slinger. We don't want it to attack the spearman. And I think we'll just, we'll just leave the builder here for now while nothing bad can happen to it. We're just going to have to fight our way through this scout. We'll keep this scout moving. Up, there's Hattusa. We were not the first to find that one either. All we need is the Eureka for irrigation, which we could get by, for example, settling here and improving this wheat. So we might do that. a little bit later on. We could also like buy tiles out to here to improve that one, but that would cost gold that I'd rather not spend right now. Right now, Frederick Barbarossa is happy with us because we're not doing anything with city-states. That'll change as soon as we can change it, but right now he's happy with us for it. In fact, we're probably going to want to go to war with him later to stop him from attacking city-states, but right now, if he's willing, we'd like a friendship with him. So I'll send him a delegation. I don't have any luxuries to trade him, but later on we can trade him stuff, and that should make him happier with us. We'll get friendship just to make sure that he doesn't attack us in the early game. That's the other way to handle the deity's initial strength bonus, is to just be friendly with him. All right, the scout retreated. This spearman, we just moved back from the spearman. The spearman might try to move into our capital area. If so, that's fine. We'll just be defensive, and that's not really going to cost us anything. There we go. That's our third city-state. Brussels, train heavy chariot. We can do that. The spearman is retreating. That's perfect. We'll keep moving our warrior up. We will finally promote this slinger. We'll leave this guy here. In fact, we might just want to settle for improving this just for the boost. I think we'll do that. It'll be quicker in the long run. We can get a builder over here later. He is friendly towards us now, so why don't we declare friendship? Let us live in peace. We'll see how long this friendship lasts. For now, it's just to our advantage. Okay, cool. Found some more mountains. Your delegation is most welcome. Our 25 gold has been returned to us. The ancient era ends in 5 turns. Right now, we can't see if any religions have been founded. Someone got a great scientist, but no one's built Stonehenge, and no one has a great prophet just yet. People are starting to. We'd like to get a settler out. We'd like to, do a lot of things, but we definitely want to prioritize getting our great prophet right now, so that we can get good beliefs and guarantee that we actually have a great prophet. The spearman has retreated even further. I still don't trust it entirely, so I'm not willing to send out this trade route just yet. But once we clear out that camp, it should be relatively safe. And I think I'm ready to move this forward. If that attacks us, it will lose way more health than we will, so that wouldn't be a bad thing. And let's just see what's there. Okay, and let's see what's there. I might run this scout up to scout Germany a bit. If we can't get through that way, then I might swing back down. Looks like there's coast this way. I want to put you... I'll just put you over there, and then we'll cross the river, see if we can get through that way. If not, we'll send it up that way. Right now, I'm just looking for city-states. Someone finally built Stonehenge.
If there are no dogs in heaven, then when...
All right. Horses. We're looking for horses. We have 2 good sources of horses here. That's perfect. We'll want to settle here first just to prevent Germany from doing so and maybe to get a great campus. But then we'll definitely want to settle here. In fact, we might want to settle here sooner rather than later just to get the horses, so that we can then build horsemen, which will be really strong in the early game. And the sooner you get them, the stronger they'll be. All right, there's the spearmen. Now we'll send our slinger out. We will just improve this to get craftsmanship.
Inspiration is a mere reed shaken in the wind.
Right now, since we're building the monument, I think I'll still leave the barbarian card in, discipline in instead of Agoge, but and we'll try to clear these camps. But after that, I'll want to start building archers, probably in this city while I'm doing projects over here. We will begin teching for state workforce, I think. We could definitely get the boost for early empire before it ticks over, before we hard research it. The question is just whether we want the government plaza right away, or getting settlers out. I think actually we want to get settlers out faster, so this is probably the better one to go for. This city will start growing much faster once we're getting to food from our trade route. And we definitely want archery next. Okay, so we'll heal up. I said I was going to scout this way, so there we go. There's also horses here. That's fantastic. We'd love to settle here, for example. We couldn't do anything there, but we could build a nice industrial zone right there. For 2 from these, we could build an aqueduct there to give it a total for 4. That would be great. Then we could put like an industrial or a commercial hub there. It wouldn't be any faster, but it could be pretty strong. So I'm gonna put some pins down. If we settle here, we'll also get the Plains Hill, but no, that's a grassland hill. Yeah, that's a grassland hill. So it's still good though. Alternatively, we could settle here. If we settled here, we would get and put the industrial zone there. We'd get 1, 2, and then +3 from the 2 mines. But I guess we'd get more by doing it this way, so we'll do it that way. So say industrial zone, aqueduct. I think we could put the aqueduct there. Let me see. Yeah, because it can go across from our city center over there. And then, say, a commercial hub here. We might also just put a harbor here instead, but we'll see later. Where would we like to settle to get these horses? So we'd like to build a campus here. We might also like to build a campus here. So we'd probably want to settle there. Put a campus there. That'll lose out on one of these desert hills because that'll go to this city instead of that city, but that's fine. We'll still get this one over here. All these mines over here. This will be a strong Petro City still. We'd also like to probably we'd be quite far from this one. It would take a while to get there. So we probably also want to settle, say, here, which will let us build a nice campus there. We might have to repair it from the volcano, but that's fine. So a campus there. Alternatively, we could build it here. This might be what we want to do. Then the campus would be slower, but we could get 1, 2, 3 districts with Pearl of the Danube, and we also have this as a workable tile. So maybe that's the thing to do. Alternatively, if we settled it there, we could settle down here somewhere maybe. No, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so that wouldn't work. We could settle here. And that would give us 1. Yeah, it's a tough call how to do it here. We might want to settle, say, here, get 2 Pearl of the Danube spots, or settle here to get 3. This is also tundra. It's not great territory, so maybe we'll want to pass this up altogether and maybe just go here instead. Then we'd still be far away from that. We'll make that decision later. For now, I think as long as we get this one, we can get to the horses pretty quickly. Okay, Stonehenge has been built. Barbarians. We want to get in the way of that scout before it reports back. I don't know if we'll be able to. All right, let's give you, well, if you're going to keep going down, because we already have Germany's borders, I think we'll go with hills for now. And let's keep you moving that way just to see if you can actually go that way. All right, I have to retreat this guy just to heal him up a bit. Put the slinger there. And now that we have our units here, it's safe to finally send this trade route to Buda, so we'll do that. Where are we at in terms of great profit points? So 2 have been recruited. We can probably get ahead of Germany in time. We'll definitely get ahead of this person if we keep doing these. So we should keep doing these. Okay, we might be able to sneak through this way. Check out that. Yeah, we might be able to find a path that way as well. 2 more turns until the classical era. Oh, that's great. It's really good that the scout didn't report back, and it's great that this spearman stepped out to where we are. Could we kill it? We could kill it, and hopefully that scout doesn't come a call-in. We can hit this spearman. Let's just keep exploring this way since we can. It looks like we'll probably swing back down around that way. Alright, we found a little bit of stuff. Who is this? Ottomans. Okay, so we should send the scout up that way, meet the Ottomans. Or maybe we don't want to meet the Ottomans first thing, because we don't really want to be rushed by the Ottomans. Hopefully the scout doesn't pillage that trade route, which... Ah! Well, the scout did exactly what we didn't want to happen, and we also got a bad spawn of these 2 barbarians here. That's pretty bad, but we will deal with the consequences next time. It looks like we got our Pantheon up, which is great, and we'll still be working towards our great profit. But that is the beginning of the classical era. The ancient era has ended. I should have saved onto that trader just a couple more turns, but sometimes you make mistakes, and we're going to live with it. We're not going to reload. So thank you for watching. It's the end of the episode. Come back next time to see us play the classical era. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment. I appreciate any and all feedback. And thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.